Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
The hum of the spaceship's engines whirred through the hallways, a constant reminder of the life aboard the Stellar Guardian, a fusion of human ingenuity and alien technology. For many aboard this fleet, the daily grind had become routine. But for Ethan Reed, a humble engineer and part-time mechanic, it felt like being trapped in an endless loop, a cycle of work, eat, and sleep, with little else in between. The loneliness gnawed at him, echoing through the sterile metal walls of his quarters. Just one more week, he muttered to himself, flopping onto his makeshift bed, a compact, futuristic piece that folded into the wall. He squinted at his datapad, scrolling through the endless assignments waiting for him. If only I could catch a break. The silence of his cabin wasn't so lonely anymore. A soft chime signaled that Leora, his alien maid, had arrived. She entered with her characteristic grace, her shimmering skin reflecting the ambient light and her long, elegant limbs moving fluidly. As a member of the Zealot species, she was different from any human person Ethan had ever encountered. Her large, iridescent eyes held both curiosity and an otherworldly wisdom. "Good day, Ethan," she said in her melodic voice, her words tinged with both excitement and warmth. Ethan returned her greeting with a smile. "Hey, Leora, what's on the agenda today?" "Daily maintenance and cleanliness is the priority. However, I also detected fluctuations in your emotional chemistry," she replied, tilting her head with genuine concern, something he found endearing. Ethan shrugged, feeling both comforted and vulnerable under her keen gaze. "Just the usual. You know how it is on a ship like this. It can get isolated." Leora's eyes seemed to flicker with understanding, her colorful skin shimmering as she moved closer. "Isolation is a foreign concept to me. On Zelanth, we thrive in community and togetherness. Is it not the same for humans?" "Not always," Ethan replied with a slight chuckle. "Sometimes we value our personal space a bit too much." Their daily interactions had danced around the line of friendliness and something more, in truth. Ethan found himself increasingly captivated by Leora's spirit and charm. He couldn't help but feel a twinge of yearning every time their hands brushed against each other, an electric current that sent shivers coursing through him. Today, though, he felt particularly vulnerable. The weight of the day pressed heavily on him, and he was undeniably tired of the loneliness, craving connection. As Leora busied herself with chores, he stole glances at her, studying her features. Her alien heritage felt both miraculous and overwhelmingly daunting. Lost in thought, Ethan scarcely noticed when Leora paused, her demeanor shifting. "Is something troubling you, Ethan?" He was about to deflect as usual when he caught himself. "Yeah, just. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever find someone to share my life with. It feels impossible out here in space. Perhaps the universe is vast, but it often brings unexpected connections," Leora mused. "Humans and Zelanthians differ, yet we could learn a lot from each other." As her words hung in the air, Ethan felt the stirrings of something new, a connection that could transcend their species' differences. Little did he know that this very connection was about to be tested in a most unexpected and possibly irreversible way. Ethan couldn't shake off Leora's words. The warmth of her presence had begun to chip away at his isolation, and yet there was a flicker of apprehension lingering in his mind. Could he really look for companionship beyond the fragile confines of their two worlds? It seemed improbable, especially in a place where every interaction needed to be scrutinized for interspecies protocol. As the day wore on, the humdrum tasks began to pile up. After a long shift repairing a malfunctioning system, Ethan returned to his quarters, fatigue clawing at him. A part of him wanted to bask in the tranquility of solitude, but another craved something more. Conflicting desires battled inside him, and eventually, the yearning for human touch won out. "Just a moment," he said aloud, a self-directed warning as he dismissed the troubling thoughts and decided to indulge in a moment of privacy. In the softly lit space of his cabin, Ethan allowed himself to embrace that intimate solitude. He sank into the cushiony embrace of his bed, letting out a sigh as he closed his eyes. The outline of Leora's form lingered in his mind, how her vibrant colors and unique features stirred something deep within him that felt both thrilling and terrifying. With thoughts of her dancing in his head, he found himself seeking the warmth of that connection, envisioning a place where they could truly share intimacy, free of judgment, free of expectations. He let the moment envelop him, a fleeting escape from the harsh reality of tight quarters and protocol. Just as he began to lose himself in fantasy, the unmistakable sound of the door chime echoed through the space. Heart racing, he struggled to gather himself mid-thought as he called out, "Come in." The door slid open, revealing Leora, her eyes wide in shock as she took in the scene before her. Ethan's breath hitched, and time seemed to freeze. For both of them, the world around them faded into oblivion. "Ethan," she exclaimed, her voice a blend of surprise and confusion. In that instant, feelings of embarrassment swept over Ethan like a tidal wave, forcing him to shield himself hurriedly. Sorry. I didn't expect you to be here." Leora stood frozen, her eyes never leaving his. Her response was an unusual mixture of fascination and bewilderment, revealing her alien mind attempting to process what she had witnessed. Though he was fully aware of how mortified he felt, he couldn't help but notice how beautiful she looked, her skin shimmering like stardust, an alluring glow illuminating her features. "Is this a common human practice?" she asked hesitantly, the innocence of her inquiry cutting through the tension. Ethan, still flustered, ran a hand through his hair. It's more personal than common. I guess humans have different ways of coping with loneliness." Leora's brow furrowed, her radiant eyes narrowing in concentration as she sought to understand him better. "Loneliness, the absence of connection," she finally echoed, absorbing the weight of his words. "I think I grasp what you mean." The air filled with an awkward silence, pulsating with unspoken emotions. "I didn't mean to. I just wanted some time to myself," Ethan stammered, his voice barely making it past his embarrassment. Leora placed her hands on her hips, an alien gesture of contemplation. "Do you wish to connect, Ethan? I am not entirely familiar with human practices, but I sense that as beings, we crave some form of bond." Ethan's heart raced at her unabashed honesty. Could this alien figure truly understand his longing for intimacy? "It's complicated," he began, his mind racing for the right words. "But it need not be," she interrupted gently. "If we learn from each other, we could explore the differences." There was an electric moment between them, charged with an energy that had not existed before. It was almost palpable, the unexpected connection weaving its way through the air. Leora stepped closer, her curiosity practically tangible, and the distance between them faded. "What if we tried to learn?" Leora suggested, a mixture of excitement and intrigue in her expression. "Learn," Ethan echoed, chasing a leap of hope mingled with fear. "You mean, like, about human intimacy, right?" "Yes," she said, her voice softening. "As strange as this moment may be, it speaks volumes. We could become more connected beyond this cultural divide." Ethan felt his breath hitch in his throat as he absorbed her proposition, suddenly aware of how sensitive the topic was and how perilous this journey could become. Yet beneath that was an undeniable spark of intrigue, of longing for genuine connection. As the air grew thicker with possibilities, he felt his walls wavering. There was no denying that this moment was an unexpected door opening into uncharted territory. Could he really step through that door? The air in Ethan's quarters felt charged with possibilities as he and Leora locked eyes, each heartbeat resonating with the uncharted territory they were about to explore together. But as much as he craved connection, Ethan couldn't shake the weight of caution pressing against his chest. "So, where do we even begin?" he asked, trying to keep his tone light even as nerves coiled within him. Leora tilted her head, her vibrant eyes sparkling with curiosity. "Begin with communication," she replied earnestly. "What you call intimacy seems to be a multi-layered experience. It is not merely physical, but involves emotions and vulnerabilities. Help me understand this, Ethan." With every word, her openness sent a shiver of anticipation racing down Ethan's spine. He nodded, eager to navigate this unconventional journey together. "Okay, let me try to explain." They settled into a shared seating arrangement, a circular lounge that had been disassembled from a wall, a space that felt strangely intimate. Ethan took a deep breath, trying to organize his thoughts. Human intimacy often starts with trust. It's about letting someone in and showing vulnerability. Vulnerability, Leora repeated, unfolding her slender fingers thoughtfully. In what manner? Ethan swallowed, the weight of the moment pressing on him. Well, for example, sharing personal fears, dreams, or desires. You know, the things that make us who we are. His heart thudded against his ribcage as he spoke, laying bare his emotions for her to grasp. Leora's eyes widened, processing the weight of his share. This seems enlightening. I believe we must cultivate this trust then. I'd like to think so, Ethan replied, a flicker of connection sparking between them as she took a small step closer. They explored further. Each question Leora posed pushed the boundaries of their understanding. She delved into topics like what love meant to humans, how people could connect so deeply with one another, sometimes to a fault. Ethan realized that in sharing his world, he was inadvertently revealing pieces of his heart. The conversation ebbed and flowed, filled with laughter and surprising insights that brought them closer. With each exchange, Leora's curiosity and wonder about humanity's intricacies deepened the bond between them. Tell me more about this touch you spoke of, Leora prompted, her voice low and inviting. Ethan chuckled nervously. Touches? Well, it's physical and can be incredibly intimate. It ranges from a simple handshake to holding hands to even more affectionate gestures. Would you demonstrate? Her gaze bore in on him, unrelenting and determined, if anything, undeniably earnest. Sure, Ethan said, feeling the heat rush to his cheeks. You may need to guide me, though, of course. Your species has different customs. Leora nodded, her expression earnest, and leaned closer, their hands almost touching. With timid movements, Ethan extended one hand carefully towards her. Leora mirrored his action, reaching out to encapsulate his palm with her own. A jolt of electricity shot through Ethan at their skin's brief contact, a warmth radiating that made his heart race. Leora's fingers were cooler, yet oddly comforting, and he found himself momentarily lost in the sensation. What do you feel? She asked softly, her eyes searching for answers in his. I feel alive, he confessed, surprised by the honesty in his own voice. I feel connected, a sense of warmth, which is typically associated with affection. Affection, Leora repeated, her voice tinted with delight as she tightened her grip around his hand. This is fascinating. Such a simple gesture, yet it carries immense emotional weight. Ethan was taken aback at how easily the conversation flowed, yet the simplicity of their touch ignited something deep within him. Exactly. It can convey many things that words often cannot. As they held hands, the moment of serenity, their hands simply resting together, became more profound as time stretched on. He caught glimpses of Leora's playful curiosity, her expression shifting from intrigue to something deeper as she examined his features. May I ask you a personal question? Leora ventured, her eyes unwavering. Of course, Ethan said, intrigued and slightly apprehensive about what she would delve into next. When you share your intimacy with another, does it lead to a mating bond? She questioned, unmistakably curious about human relationships. Ethan's cheeks flushed a deep crimson, and he felt the flutter of nervousness. Yes, it can. It's often how relationships deepen, involving both physical and emotional connections. It's pretty complicated. Complicated, yet desirable, Leora remarked, amusement dancing across her features. Perhaps it is not so different from my kind. What do you mean? Ethan asked, interested in learning more about her perspective. Our species holds connection in high regard, but the concepts of mating and emotional bonds are layered differently. For instance, desire is interwoven with a commitment to partnership, a union of cosmic significance, as we believe it strengthens our kinship, she explained, her eyes shimmering with intensity. Suddenly, an idea sparked in Ethan's mind. So if we were to ever get to that point, it would involve mutual understanding, an effort to honor each other's customs? That is my understanding, Leora affirmed, her grip on his hand becoming firmer. Do you wish to explore this desire further, Ethan? To discover the merging of our worlds? Ethan's heart pounded in his chest, a dizzying combination of excitement and fear swirling within him. The allure of exploring this new geography of their relationship felt both enticing and daunting. I do. I think I've longed for genuine connection for a long time, he confessed, voice barely above a whisper, courage intertwining with vulnerability. Then let us forge this connection, Leora said, determination echoing in her tone. We shall learn together. In that moment, with their hands joined and thoughts entwined, they ventured into a new chapter together, a journey neither had anticipated. With curiosity ignited in their beings, they began to navigate the complexities of connection. Two souls from different worlds, gravity pulling them closer into an uncharted orbit. As the days passed, the threads of Ethan and Leora's connection began to weave an intricate tapestry of intimacy that neither had anticipated. They communicated openly, sharing secrets, vulnerabilities, strengths, and dreams. Each day brought new experiences, deepening their bond and ushering in a sense of warmth amidst the cold, metallic confines of the stellar guardian. On a fateful afternoon, during one of their many exploratory chats, Ethan learned that Leora was not just a maid. She was considered an emissary of her people, chosen to observe and learn about human culture. This revelation added a layer of gravity to their evolving relationship. The complications of duty intertwined with their personal feelings, creating an overwhelming sensation of urgency. Ethan, Leora said, her voice lilting, I want to share something significant with you. She looked serious, her expression intense and contemplative, leaving Ethan curious, yet anxious. What is it? He asked gently, preparing himself for any number of possibilities. When an emissary learns enough from another culture, they receive a unique gift, a form of enhancement, she explained, her voice steadying against the weight of her words. It is emerging, a bond that strengthens the connection between beings. Enhancement. His brow furrowed in puzzlement. Like what? In my culture, this enhancement allows for a stronger connection than mere emotional or physical attachment. It can intertwine our very essences, binding us on a cosmic level. It is an extraordinary event, signifying trust and an acceptance of partnership, she explained, her words laced with vulnerability as she met his gaze. The implications of her words leaped forward, striking Ethan like an electric shock. This was something deeper than physical desire. She was suggesting a union that could transcend their species. Excitement and fear swirled within him. Was he ready for something so monumental? I didn't realize that this could be a part of our connection, he stammered, wrestling with his thoughts. But what does it mean for us, Leora? What if things went wrong? Leora took a step closer, her resonance pulsing with urgency. It means we would commit to one another in a profound way. It means journeying through the uncertainties together. It is not to be taken lightly, but I believe that this connection is meant to happen. His heart raced, suspended in the tension of possibility. You feel that strongly about it? I do. I have never experienced a bond like this with any being, and I believe it holds the power to change everything, she replied, her voice unwavering, sincerity radiating from her cosmic essence. Overwhelmed by a torrent of thoughts, Ethan wrestled with his emotions. He thought of the connection they had forged, of shared laughter, late-night conversations, and the thrill of touches that kindled sparks within him. He longed for more, but the fear of the unknown clouded his mind. Okay, he replied cautiously. I want to explore this further and understand what it means. But we need to be honest and clear with one another about our feelings and expectations. Leora's eyes sparkled, a mixture of excitement and determination washing over her. Yes, honesty is vital. It is the cornerstone of trust, after all. Let us discuss how each of us views this bond, what it means to us. As they settled into the warmth of their shared space, Ethan's heart beat in rhythm with excitement brewing between them. They began exchanging intimate thoughts and fears, peeling back layers that revealed the raw essence of their beings. I fear the implications of such a connection, Leora said, her voice steady yet tinged with vulnerability. In accepting you, I fear what being with a human may mean. Our species. They will question our bond. I get that. My life has always revolved around service and duty. In many ways, I felt like an outsider in this universe. I worry too, how others will see me sharing something so profound with someone so different, Ethan confessed, his heart racing with the honesty of his words. But doesn't that make this connection even more beautiful? Leora countered, her voice gentle but firm, to embrace the unknown and forge paths our people have never explored. Together, we could challenge the barriers that have separated us. Ethan pondered her words, a rush of hope intertwining with his trepidation. Leora was right. They had the potential to create change, not just for themselves, but for both species and their perceptions of one another. Then let's embrace it, he declared, his voice resonating with newfound resolve. I'm ready to take that leap with you. With a soft smile lighting up her features, Leora leaned closer, her cool hand brushing against his cheek. Thank you, Ethan, she murmured, her breath mingling with his as their foreheads touched, a tender gesture filled with warmth and comfort. As their connection heightened, Ethan found himself enraptured by the moment, a sense of familiarity blossoming between them, a universality that transcended the differences of their origins. With a sense of instinct guiding him, he gently closed the distance between them, his lips barely grazing hers. The world outside his quarters faded into oblivion as he felt Leora's breath against his skin, the thrill of electricity igniting every nerve ending as they moved deeper into one another's orbit. As their lips met, it was a union of warmth and curiosity, an exploration of all they had discussed and more. The kiss evolved, becoming both passionate and tender. Leora's unique texture against his skin sent shivers through him, igniting a fire deep within, while her essence wrapped around him, a feeling so alive, so raw, that he couldn't believe he was sharing this moment with her. Ethan, she breathed, pulling away just slightly to gaze into his eyes, her expression a mix of anticipation and excitement. Are you prepared to take this further? To engage in the bond one spoke of? As the weight of her question enveloped the space, Ethan felt his heartbeat quicken with a blend of exhilaration and nerves. Yes, he replied, the sincerity of his voice echoing in the stillness of the moment. Let's do this. Together. With a knowing smile that conveyed deep trust, Leora's hands found their way into his, her grip tightening like an anchor in the shifting currents of their unknown future. I will guide you through this experience, she said softly, the warmth of her presence wrapping around him comfortably. We will engage in a shared moment where our energies blend. Ethan felt a mix of excitement and trepidation at the prospect. What should I do? He asked, ready to break through the barriers that had previously governed their worlds. Trust. Let go of your fears. Let the connection flow between us. Feel what is meant to be. Leora guidance melted away the last traces of his hesitation. As they prepared for this unprecedented union, the room seemed to pulsate with energy, and Ethan felt invigorated, but also aware of the vulnerability that lay ahead. They looked into each other's eyes, a silent affirmation passing between them, binding them ever closer. Leora began to weave her energy around them, her cosmic light radiating, bathing their surroundings in a soft glow, creating a sanctuary where they could explore without judgment. Ethan could feel the warmth enveloping them both, a sensation that chased away all shadows of doubt and fear. As their energies melded, sensations of warmth and light surged between them, intensifying against the backdrop of their intimate connection. Ethan could feel Leora's essence merging with his, tendrils of emotion intertwining, creating a unity that was both exhilarating and terrifying. Open yourself to me, Ethan. Share your spirit with me, Leora urged, her voice a melodic whisper. Slowly, he surrendered to the feeling, letting go of everything holding him back. As he opened himself up, he felt their souls intertwine, a cosmic dance of light and energy brighter than anything he had ever experienced. An ethereal bond formed, enveloping them in warmth that shone against the vastness of cold space surrounding the ship. Ethan gasped as he felt their essences converge, the mingling of human and Zelenth, a union surpassing physical desire. Waves of emotion washed over him, filling every pore with both the joy of connection and the weight of possibility. Incredible, he breathed, lost in the depth of their experience. This is unlike anything I could ever imagine. It is merely the beginning, Leora responded, her voice resonating within him, intertwining with the essence of their union, a kaleidoscope of sensations that opened them both up like blooming flowers. And in that moment, wrapped in the light of their connection, transcending physical boundaries and societal norms, Ethan and Leora discovered a love so profound that it echoed far beyond their individual existences, a union destined to challenge the very fabric of their two worlds. As the vibrant glow of their shared energies enveloped Ethan and Leora, the overwhelming sensations gradually began to settle into a profound sense of bliss and companionship. The world outside the walls of the Stellar Guardian faded to a distant memory, overshadowed by the magic of their intimate connection. Ethan felt as if the very fabric of the universe was unraveling for him. Every thought, every emotion intertwined in the radiant warmth that flowed between them. It was intoxicating, a cosmic dance that bound their spirits in a way he never thought possible. In this sanctuary they had created, he let go of every hesitation that had haunted him. "Together, we are stronger," Leora whispered, her voice a serene melody that reverberated within him, anchoring him to the essence of their bond. "We will create a pathway where others can follow." Ethan met her gaze, his heart swelling at the iridescent beauty of her eyes, filled with hope and unwavering determination. "We could change everything, couldn't we?" he murmured, realization dawning anew on him. The enormity of what they had just shared felt both exhilarating and terrifying, as he thought of the possibilities just beginning to unfold. "Yes," Leora said, her smile radiant against the ethereal backdrop of their union. "Our bond can bridge the gap between our worlds, teaching others that connection thrives in diversity." But as they basked in that warm glow, Ethan felt a tugging from the outside world, a reminder of the responsibilities that awaited him, the realities from which they had temporarily escaped. Suddenly, an awareness settled in, the echoes of the universe pressing in around them like a reminder of how much was at stake. "Leora, what happens to us now?" he asked, intertwining the joy of their connection with the uncertainty of what lay ahead. Fear wove its way into his contemplation. "Now we flesh out our relationship," she replied, a twinkle of confidence in her voice. "We must face the reality of our existence as partners, with all its complexities." He nodded, sensing the weight of her words. "But what if they don't accept us? What if your people or mine view this bond as an aberration?" "We can't let fears dictate our choices," Leora said, her voice imbued with strength. "To embrace the unknown is what makes this journey worthwhile. If our connection is built on love and trust, we must be willing to confront whatever challenges arise head-on." Ethan's heart stirred as he absorbed her conviction. "And what if we face pushback or prejudices?" he pressed. Doubt still flickered through him like shadows. "Pushback is inevitable, Ethan. Our union will challenge cultural norms and prejudices. But we must remember the love that brought us here, the understanding we've nurtured," Leora insisted, her gaze unwavering, filled with an intensity that demanded his resolve in return. "Then let's be advocates for this connection," Ethan suggested, a spark of hope igniting within him. "Let's educate others about our bond, show them how we bridge our worlds." She smiled, warmth radiating from her being. "Yes, together, we create a narrative that transcends worlds." As they exchanged their thoughts, the fears that had once threatened to overtake Ethan softened. He felt emboldened by Leora's spirit, an indomitable energy that inspired him to push through the uncertain waters of cultural expectations. "I've never felt this level of excitement before," he admitted, his voice tinged with awe. "But I also worry about the practicalities. How do we navigate the stigma? Each day, we will take steps forward, however small they may be," Leora replied, the gentleness in her voice echoing the deep connection they had just created. "We can start by sharing our story." The room seemed to hum with enthusiasm as Ethan thought of the far-reaching implications of their journey. He glanced at Leora, who looked equally inspired yet grounded by their conversation. "Together, we can reach others who feel isolated, who long for connection but fear rejection. Think of the possibilities," he exclaimed, excitement bubbling inside of him. However, as their euphoric discussions continued, a thought surfaced, stirring discomfort within him. "What about our families? What will they say?" Leora's expression shifted momentarily as reality set in. Families may take time to accept something as radical as our union. But if our love is potent enough, if we showcase our bond, their understanding will follow. Love has a way of opening hearts, even in the face of ignorance. Then let's do it, he said, his resolve gathering strength. Let's face those challenges together, hand in hand. Show both our worlds that love knows no boundaries. The boldness of their plan illuminated a vision that made the horizon feel broader. They would carve a path through the darkness, lighting the way for others who felt divided and alone. As ethereal energy pulsed within them, Ethan's heart swelled with profound gratitude. He was no longer the solitary engineer adrift in the vast expanse of the universe. With Leora by his side, they began to transform into a force of change. The warmth of the cosmic connection flowed between them, wrapping around their fingers, which remained entwined. With that bond grounding them, they prepared to step outside back into the corridors of the ship, ready to confront whatever awaited them. United by their hopes and emboldened by the journey behind them, they felt a renewed sense of purpose. Releasing their energies, the cosmic light dimmed, but the essence of their bond remained bright. The quiet hum of the Stellar Guardian returned, a reminder of the ship's mechanical machinery, the heart that beat tirelessly, guiding them safely through the galaxy. "Leora," Ethan said, his voice steady as they neared the door to their quarters. "From this moment on, we acknowledge that we are partners who advocate for a future where love knows no boundaries." She beamed down at him, the depth of her emotions shining through the shimmering beauty of her features. "A future where our love bridges worlds, encouraging unity and understanding." Hand in hand, they reached for the door, pushing it open to face the outside world. The corridor lay ahead, a path leading to the rest of the ship and the vastness of space beyond that. No longer did they exist as solely two individuals. They had become something more. They had transformed into ambassadors of hope, a symbol of bridging two galaxies. With one last glance exchanged, their fingers still intertwined, Leora and Ethan stepped into the expanse before them. Together, they would not only navigate the complexities of their love, but also advocate for harmony across species. They would create a revolution that promised understanding and togetherness, a new narrative that showed how powerful love could be. In this moment, as the corridors of the Stellar Guardian stretched before them, they felt ready to challenge expectations and inspire change. The journey ahead was daunting, but their hearts surged with the knowledge that love would pave the way. In the silence of space, amidst the stars, twinkling like promises waiting to be fulfilled, they embraced their newfound role, a union of hearts destined to illuminate the darkness, a melody of hope that echoed in every corner of the universe.